Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. We're back at it again, cut from the streets, Brixton, London, UK. So the topic today is missing people. We're going to be asking our people what they think about the situation with missing people. For example, in the stats, we are told that every 90 seconds, someone is reported missing. That is really shocking. The next 90 seconds, someone will be reported missing in the UK. That is really, really bad statistics. So now we're out here to be able to run through the problems with people missing, with our people, and also offer them the solution according to the Bible. What do you think about that, Soldier?
Yeah, man, because missing people is a very heavy thing, and it's not really, when you look at the news or you look at social media, it's not really out there. So it's not really known. You know, like there's a brother that was missing since May over here, but I haven't seen it on any, you know, any news or any social media outlet. So we came to bring the awareness to the people, you know, show that it is happening, and what is the reasoning behind this, you know? What solutions can we have and what can we put in place to help lower this number? You know, like you were saying, you know, every 90 seconds somebody is reported missing in the UK, you know, saying, so we're just trying to get into the minds of the people, see what they say is the solution and bring some biblical solutions, okay, what the Bible says on this matter.
Yeah, and one thing that's important for us to find out is the reasons behind people that are missing. Is it because of sex trafficking? Is it because they go through depression? Is it because there's problems at home? Whatever these reasons is, we want to make sure that people can actually give us some information, some insight as to why this keeps happening at a large rate. So with that, Israel, we say shalom. That's cuts in the streets. Cuts, cuts, cuts.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless. We are here in Brixton discussing the topic today, which is missing people. My name is Soldier Asher. What's your name, my brother?
Jason.
Jason, all praise. Nice to meet you, Jason. So basically, the topic today is missing people. And as you can tell, it's a very, very serious topic.
Yes.
Because our brothers and sisters are missing. You know, we want to try and figure out why is it that there are so many people missing? What do you think about that?
Well, I reckon living in, if it's London or if it's Britain or if it's England, I think there's a lot of ideologies out there for people that put wool under their eyes, you understand me? So if they have problems, let's say they're facing at home or just in everyday life, they think going there, they may be better their lives, or it could to deal with their being on drugs, or it could be that they're into some cult, or you understand me? There's so many issues and there's so many problems that people face in today's society, you know.
Topic is missing people. All right. So why do you think there's so many missing people?
The reason why there's so many missing people is because I feel that a lot of our black brothers, they don't know their history, and they haven't been taught what was right from wrong, from growing up, from a young teen age to a adolescent adult age. And I feel like they was misled by the elders, and that they don't know their history through their parents, because their parents was taught a different schooling as to what we was taught.
So what you're saying, how does that relate to, you know, our brothers and sisters going missing at the moment?
That relates to them going missing because they feel lost in society. They don't have a voice for them.
Right.
They don't have anyone to back them. There's no financial backing. There's no educational backing. So they feel like they have to step to the streets, or they feel like they have to go underground to where they feel that they're accepted. And sometimes within the underground, there's nothing positive there. It's all negative energy.
Right.
So what's your thoughts on this? Why are there so many missing people within the UK?
Well, I think first of all, like in London, it's a bit different because like it's a big city. So like I don't think I'm coming from a village myself. So like not everybody is like looking after each other the same way. Like it's more like it's quicker. Like everybody just like goes after what they have to go, is after they just don't really care. So I think that it's kind of a fatality that people are go missing in this kind of city where nobody really cares about each other.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a sense of oppression, a sense of, you know, not a stable mentality.
That's it.
You understand?
That's
So
it, yeah,
our people
yeah.
are in a state whereby they feel like running away. They don't feel like they're accepted in society.
That's
and
it.
they wanna escape, right?
Yeah, they want to escape their lives of what they're going through, i.e. work-wise, family, relationship, even with their kids. It's because of what they've been taught. They don't feel one within themselves. They don't have their knowledge of their history,
That's deep.
which I would say is called our story,
Okay.
not his story, because his story was written. Our story we don't really know.
One thing I would like us to do really is to go in a little bit of statistics, if you don't mind me, doing that. Let's go into statistics of the UK. So, for example, we were told that every 90 seconds, someone is reported missing,
Yes.
right? According to the statistics that's been given to us, for the people who are responsible for logging this data of people missing that are reported to the police. And also, 180,000 people a year are reported missing.
Yeah.
340,000
Yes.
people are one or two ways, several ways are linked to incidents related to people missing. All right? So there's 340,000 related incidents of people missing, basically, right?
From what you've heard, why do people go missing? Like, what could be a cause?
Yeah.
Or, like, for example, I could say that maybe someone ran away from their home, or something like that. Is there anything that you think could contribute towards people going missing, or you're not really sure?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think we need to care for each other, man. We need to be more social, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe someone doesn't know what he's doing. Someone might be scared to speak out and say, I'm lost, I'm missing or something,
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because the flyers that we're handing out today, the brother actually went missing in Brixton. As you can see, Brixton is always busy. There's never a time when Brixton is quiet, right? So really and truly, if we were looking out for each other, like you said, would it be easy for somebody to go missing in Brixton? Really?
Very difficult, man. Brixton is it's busy every day, man. Everyone,
Right.
It's like family, innit?
Exactly.
Everybody's close. Yeah.
Exactly. Because a lot of the time, what we're doing is what? We're just thinking about our own problems, things going on. When, like you said, like a brother could be going through a hard time, he wants to just get away from everybody, run away, stuff like that. But you could be able to see that and stop it, but because you're too worried about yourself, you're not seeing the signs that he's giving you, like that he needs help.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because
And the question that I have for you is, why do you think there's so many missing people going on across the UK?
I think there's a load of different reasons why people go missing. I think a massive factor is mental health. I think if you decide to leave the place where your friends and family are, that's because you're not happy within yourself.
Yes.
And there's a number of reasons why that can happen. But I also think I'm a teacher.
Yep.
And a lot of people go missing. They don't want to go missing, but they get taken.
Yep.
There's a lot of people getting groomed into gangs,
Yep.
that kind of thing. I've taught a lot of young boys who have disappeared. and it's been thought that they've been groomed into a gang and moved out to county lines, that kind of thing.
Oh, wow. Wow. And yeah, I mean, most of those points that you talked about are exactly the things that we tend to see. Things such as trafficking with children, whether it be for organs or sex trafficking, whatever it is. If it's depression, mental health, homelessness is also a factor of missing people, I've heard.
People will run away because like they don't feel like they belong where they belong to. But sometimes it can be like a conspiracy thing as well, like where people just basically they're not. They don't want to be into the place they are, so like they create stories around them, and then people are just attacking them, and they go missing because they went into they make bad decisions basically.
Okay, so
bad decision can make you into a lot of trouble, and it can make you get kidnapped or whatever.
So you're saying that stemming from what happened to us in historic times.
Yes.
Is affecting us today in today's society, and many of our black brothers and sisters are emotionally affected by things that have not happened to them directly, but their forefathers from the past. So it's a domino effect.
Everything stems from the past. If we have nothing here within the future to lead us and guide us as to what was set from the beginning, we're going to be lost in the future.
And the question is, what do you think needs to be done to try and solve these issues?
I mean, funding for the police, I think, would be a great place to start. If the police had the capacity to go find people and help in some way, dealing with trafficking, dealing with gangs and drug crime, that kind of thing, I think that would be a massive influence. But right now, today, I think that we as a community, I was speaking to your colleague earlier, just looking around us now, there's so many people everywhere, and I think in London in particular, it's almost easier to hide because there's so many people,
right?
But if more people were aware of this and were aware of people that were missing, they might be able to look out for them, and we as a community could do something in order to help as well. So
people can be kidnapped. Like nobody knows about what he was going through. Nobody knows about who he is. And that's the main thing about it. So it can be attacked by anyone. If you're not known within your own community, everybody can come through and attack you.
Right.
So we need to just make sure that we truly know each other, so to prevent this kind of thing.
So now, you mentioned that depression could be one of those reasons. All right? So now we're going to try and go into the Bible to see what the Bible says about things like depression, which is one of those reasons why people go missing. Can I get a reader, please? All right, so it's important that we, come closer. Get me the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 33. We're going to talk about depression a little bit, right? Because our people, quite often, in terms of society that we're in, there are situations that gets us into that state in the first place. All right, and the Bible tells us about that. Get me that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
You understand what I'm saying? So us as so-called black people, for example, you have our people that come from different walks of life, different places in the world, for example, as well. Where is your origin? Where do you come from?
Where's my origin?
Yeah.
Well, my real origin, we would know, is obviously the motherland, innit? Africa. But
where specifically in Africa?
But my background, I will say my origin I think Cameroon. Whatever.
Cameroon, right.
My background, my daddy's Barbados,
right,
and I've got family from Jamaica as well.
Okay, there you go. So now when you look at our people and where we come from, in terms of pretty much what you said Africa, right? Okay, so now in that region, you look at our people, the state of our people, you come into this country in the UK and you think of, you know what, I could make a better life for myself. But then you find yourself in a position where that's not quite happening. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking, hold on a minute, people kept talking about Africa's got all the great resources, right? But yet, we're coming to this country, we think we can make a better life for ourselves. Our people over there are not really doing well. Our people over here are not really doing well. That's going to lead to what? Depression. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's going to lead to depression.
Yes,
right?
I believe, yeah.
So now that's what the Most High says in terms of, one of the reasons why we tend to be led into that lower states of depression.
And the first thing you mentioned was looking out for each other, right? Looking out for each other.
Looking out for each other.
So first, let's go to Genesis 4, brother's keeper. You know what I want. So we're going to show you what some people's mindset is, because there's no way somebody should be going missing in Brixton with how busy it is, right? So we're going to show you what some people's mindset is and why these types of things, they can actually happen when there's so many people here. You got that?
Yeah. So Genesis 4 verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother?
Pause. So the Lord said to Cain, right? Cain had a brother, right, called Abel. He said to Cain, where is your brother?
Yeah.
So that's the issue. We don't see each other as our brothers and our sisters. We just see each other like, oh, that's just the next guy. I don't know him. I don't really care what happens to him. So we don't look after each other. Read that, read on.
And the Lord said unto Cain, where is thy brother?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
He said, I don't know. How am I supposed to know where he is? Am I my brother's keeper? But the answer is yes, you are supposed to be your brother's keeper. You're supposed to know what your brother is battling with. So if he's having any kind of like mental health issues, if he's having any kind of like stress going on, he feels like he can't speak to anybody about it, you're supposed to see, oh, wait a second, something's not right. Let me go and ask him if he's okay. You get what I'm saying?
As I said again, we don't know our historical background. We're still lost. We're still trying to figure out what is what and who is who.
Right, so we're giving you some of our history right now, according to what happened to us and the history behind certain things.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
So our people are going to be oppressed and crushed always. That's the key word, because always, meaning even till today, our people are crushed and oppressed, leaving us in a mental state that is not suitable to deal with the pressures of this world. Do you understand what I'm saying? Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment according to all the iniquities of our fathers.
Did you hear that? Yeah. We are yet this day in captivity. You know what I'm saying? We are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, nothing really to show for it.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, during the corona, for me, I'm self-employed, yeah? And for me, for someone else that could be weaker than me,
right,
would have maybe gone into deep depression. You understand me? I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm stronger than somebody else, but for me, like, I could see that it could lead to depression.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Like being locked down in corona, because where I'm self-employed, there's nobody giving me furlough. There's no one. You understand me? And if
finances are low.
Finances are low. You understand me? If you've got kids and them things there, you still got a family to support.
Right.
Bills have to still get paid. You understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
So I get solely where you're coming from.
Right.
With that.
So don't forget the topic. It's people missing. So now from being depressed to then having what you call alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and eventually you might find yourself in a position where you're vulnerable.
Yes.
And then before you know it, a van comes around and you're in a van. And you're going somewhere, you don't know where you're going. Before you know it, people are looking for you. We don't know what it is that's happened to the person. You see what I'm saying here? So the Bible is giving us, is addressing those problems with people missing.
Have you ever dealt with mental health in such regards?
Well, I have post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay.
I'm very fortunate in that I have family, I have friends, I have a great boyfriend around me who have helped me. But I had a really difficult, I had to deal with that a couple of years ago, and if I hadn't had that support network around me, I wouldn't have coped.
Right.
I really wouldn't have coped.
Right.
So when I think of other people who maybe don't have that support network around them, I completely understand why, things go awry for them, because it's really, really difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, for example, right, say I know that somebody's missing, right? And say I know where they are. Or I say I know that someone got kidnapped and I know who took them, right? Why do you think that people wouldn't say anything in that situation?
Why do people not say anything?
Yeah, like if I knew something was going on, but I didn't say anything to like the authorities or maybe to somebody else, and you have like anonymous phone lines and stuff like that, so you don't even have to let people know who you are, but you can just let people know. Why do you think people wouldn't do that, if that makes sense?
Because they're against it. They're against snitching.
Yeah.
So
okay.
They don't want to snitch because maybe they're gang banging or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly.
They don't believe in it.
Exactly, because a lot of the time, the way we've been grown up, we said, if you know some wickedness or some evil's gone on, you have to keep it quiet. But the Bible actually says something different, right? Let's read that.
Leviticus 5:1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness.
Right, pause. So it says, if a soul sin. So if I know that like someone's sinned, like they've kidnapped someone or someone's gone missing and I know where they are, yeah, if I know of that, read on.
Whether he have seen or known of it.
You see that? I know someone's been kidnapped. I know someone's missing and I know where they are. I've seen it or I've known of it. Like I've heard it through social media or someone's told me about it through words, right? Read.
If he do not utter it, then.
If I don't say anything, so if I don't go to like the authorities or if I don't go and seek help to try and find the person, then what? Then what?
He shall bear his iniquity.
Do you know what that means? He shall bear his iniquity.
You should suffer the consequences.
Right, you're 100% correct. He shall suffer the consequences because if he done something to me, right, and you knew about it, and you could have stopped it by telling somebody, if you didn't stop it, you're involved now. Do you see what we're saying?
Exactly, yeah.
You're involved. You're involved. So that's one solution to what we can do to try and maybe reduce some of the missing people. Like if you do know something that's going on, then just say, okay, I know this has happened. You don't have to necessarily tell the police who you are. You can call anonymously.
Many of our brothers and sisters that are going missing, some of it is due to kidnapping. Do you understand what I'm saying? And being sold. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even back then in history, like you're saying, those things happened to us in slavery. We got taken from our land and we got sold.
Still happening today.
And still happening today. You know what I mean? Sold into what? Doing hard labor.
And
you understand what I'm saying?
And organ doning.
Organ doning. All of these things. This is all scriptural. These are all curses. You understand what I'm saying?
Now get the judgment, Exodus chapter 21 verse 16. This is the judgment on kidnapping, because you said a lot of people, they get kidnapped, and because we don't know the person, we don't really know one another. When they get kidnapped, it's like we don't know anything. We don't know what happened.
In the first place.
Who? Yeah, I'm saying who's that? Because we was handing out this flyer. I bet you didn't know about the person that we were showing you on the flyer.
No, I don't know about Patrick Griffith at all.
Right. So let's read that.
Exodus 26 verse 16.
Exodus 21 verse 16.
Exodus 21 verse 16. And he that stealeth a man.
So that's going into kidnap. He that stealeth a man, read.
And selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
So the Lord is telling us that's a very heavy thing. That's a really heavy thing. If you steal a man, you kidnap somebody, and that person is found in their hand, that person is to be put to death. That's the law, and that's the judgment for it.
Sirach chapter 30 verse 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
You hear that?
Yes.
Do you understand what that's saying?
Can you repeat that again?
All right, read that again.
Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. The gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days.
So what's that saying, really?
So
What do you think that is saying, bro?
He's saying don't put your heads, in a way he's saying don't put your head into, you could say material things, or don't look at somebody else and think that because they're thingy, everybody has their day.
Right.
And if you follow me and you follow how I live, basically, you're gonna be as what's the word I'm looking for? Can you help me out? What's the word I'm looking for?
All right. So basically, what that's going into again, the topic is missing people, right? And we're saying that missing people is something that just doesn't happen all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? People can't just come around and just grab you. There has to be something that makes you vulnerable. One of those things that makes you vulnerable is depression. And what leads to depression is what? When you're sorrowful, heavy-hearted, and then you get into a depressive state. And then eventually you get into alcohol abuse, drug abuse, where you become so vulnerable that someone can then come around and easily take you and grab you. And then before you know, you're missing. Read on. Let's find out more about the scripture. Read down.
Verse 23. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow have killed many, and there is no profit therein.
You hear that? Yeah. Sorrow have killed many. So what is the point of trying to be sorrowful? You know what I'm saying? When we have the solution in the Bible tells us what it is we need to do to be able to get off that state of mind. The Bible is our top top counsel. There's no other counsel that matches the Bible. The Bible is where we get the solution from. Read on.
Verse 24. Envy and wrath shorteneth the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time.
Right. Because you're worried too much. That's going into being carefulness. Being careful for everything. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know what's going to happen in the next month, 2 months, a year. Coronavirus. And then before you know it, you get into more and more depression. And then you leave yourself, into that position where you're vulnerable, and then you could be missing.
Yeah, I think they should it all comes through like depression and things like that. Not speaking to people,
Yeah.
If I'm going through something, I'll try, speak to someone. Yeah. You got family, you got brothers, you got friends, you got even people, strangers might want to help you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can always ask for help. Let people know what's going on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, man, that's good, man. But hopefully, keep an eye out. Like you said, we got posters all around Brixton.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out. If you're from the area, then you might see him. And if you do, you know what to do, right?
So with that, do you have any closing remarks?
Do you know what? I came out for a Friday night and I feel really inspired by talking to your colleagues and talking to you here. I just think what you're doing is really good, and I hope that more people engage with this and think about this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. So the solution is from the Bible. We need to be able to pick up this Bible and read it, because the Bible is written for us to be able to learn from. Depression itself, which leads eventually to missing people, the solution for that is biblical. We can find the solution in the Bible. All right, with that, I'm going to say shalom. Most High Christ bless. Cut from the streets.
Hey, shalom, Israel. This is Cuts from the Streets. We're in Brixton, and today we've actually had an eventful day. Loads of the people that we spoke to have been extremely helpful and in the understanding of why missing peoples occur quite often. The main thing that we've been hearing is about communities. A lot of communities need to be built so that these people don't lose themselves through whatever means they do, whether it's depression, etc. And so that if you have a community, the community can actually find these people rather than hoping that the police will. Yeah.
I mean, it's good to see how some of our people were able to connect historical events such as slavery to how our people's mental health today is affected,
Yeah.
Yes, and also the brother that I spoke to, he was able to expand on the fact that, when it comes to depression, it's something that brings our people down. My brother mentioned about slavery, for example. People from the so-called African community that come from so-called Africa, and they come to this country, and they see their people being at the bottom of society, realizing that we're still here in this day in captivity, and realizing that, hold on a minute, we came here to actually make something better of ourselves, but yet we find ourselves depressed, still at the bottom of society. We can't really get up in society, and as a result of that, that leads into what you call people being depressed, and as a result, they get missing. And that was the topic today, to expound on why our people go missing and the solution that we brought out from the Bible.
Right, and that's what we're here for at the end of the day, solutions. The solution is always going to be keep the commandments. Keep the commandments. Be your brother's keeper, be your sister's keeper. Leviticus 5:1, if you know anything going on, make it known, all right? And with that, let's cut from the street.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.